her most famous work was behind Beyonce's Renaissance tour, which she absolutely killed. She headed up her dance team and is now moving and migrating her platform and her fan base over to Fanbase. She'll be launching and having a listening party with us tomorrow for some of her music. Time TBD, will be able to give that to you guys before the rooms end. So go follow and check her. I'm going to put the link to her page in the comments right now. So bear with. Does anybody want to have any questions?
I didn't see any questions about that, but I do see a question from Skill. Who's the artist? Well, let me look. Well, there was a couple. We have some every week. Let's see.
We did Alexis.
I'm trying to figure out. Yeah. You guys have a good night.
I think Nova's the first guy Langston. Yeah, Langston Blue. Haven't. Oh.
I think he has dreads. That's what Big Scale said. No, Big Scale said that the guy she's talking about has dreads.
The guy she's talking about. The only person I can think of who's been in an audio room was other than Nova was Langston, because no other.
I don't even know if she. No, she said the guy who did Amped Up a few weeks ago. She didn't say anything about an audio room or anything like that.
Yeah, but the thing is, how do you know he didn't Amped Up?
I'm just trying to figure out who she's talking about, so I can help you out and let you know the name.
We've had so many people come in to do Amped Up with.
Yeah,
dreads.
it's been crazy.
You got to be a little more specific.
Where's Ghost Out?
Let's see. Fox Out. Jesus. You got to be a little more specific. I can't think of anybody. Maybe I'm just crazy, guys. I don't know, Scale. Just let me get back to me, because I'm trying to picture that in my mind right now. Who could it be?
Invite to stage. We got somebody with their hand up right now. And then I see another question. I see. Says Raven, will you all invest in potential ideas and content creators? Of course, we will. We are constantly looking to onboard and bring over, new content creators and implement new ideas, whether that's, community given feedback that turns into ideas, or ideas, that come up with as the team, right? That's happening all the time. Unless you wanted to elaborate a little bit, Raven, just in case I didn't understand your question fully. But yeah, we are constantly investing in bringing over creators and implementing new product features, stuff like that. Yo, what's up, though? High Hopes. Oh, here, Noria, I'll bring you up to stage real quick as well. What's up, High Hopes?
What's up, High Hope? You there?
This is Nuria.
Ooh. What is up, Miss Nuria?
Hey.
How you doing?
What's good, Noah? What's good, Kyle? And High Hopes, Mandy. Directed.
Hello.
Yes, I have a question.
We have an answer.
Fantastic. I'm in the right place. I'm interested in bringing my audience over, migrating them over from other platforms to here. And I'm wondering if you have any suggestions in terms of, the best way to go about it. It's kind of been like slow drip campaign, like a couple times a week I'll share some things. And that hasn't necessarily been as effective. So I'm looking for new strategies to implement. And the other question, I don't know if this is something that I should probably be having a conversation with Rama about, but I'm noticing that, and it's kind of weird, and somebody else was saying maybe that's kind of a legal thing, that it could be a legal concern, that people are able to listen in on the rooms, but they're not actually showing up in the bottom. They're not in the basement. They're just like completely like ghosted. Like I don't see them.
Well, that would be audio on web.
Yeah. Is there a way that those people can show up still, even if they're on?
The reason they're not showing up is because they don't have the Fanbase app downloaded and they don't have profiles created.
Yeah. So they are just they are just anonymous users, but like they can't interact or do anything, and they're on like the desktop version. They're on the web version of Fanbase Audio. So like this audio room can be shared and it'll come up. Oh dang, that reminds me. I'm gonna put the branded. But anyway, they can't do anything, but they also won't show up. But they will count as a listener in the audience, like for your statistics.
Got it. So is it only possible for people that are not on the app to show up in the audio room and not necessarily be listed like I can't see them? Or is it possible for people that are actually using the app to also do that?
No. So there's no incognito mode like available for like users on the app. So if you have a profile, you're going to show up in the audience.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, good to know. So I had no idea that folks that did not have the app could actually be listening in. I didn't know.
So anytime you ever start up an audio room, you can share that audio room link for web, and people can just go click on it and listen in. So you could tweet it out, you could share it on your stories, where all your external socials, or your Discords or anything, right? And people can listen in without having to download the app or like create a profile.
That is so dope. I did not know that. Okay, fantastic. And then my first question, I'm going to be real quick because I don't want to take up a lot of time, is if I'm interested in migrating my audience over to Fanbase, do you have any recommendations on the best way to execute that?
Migrating
Do
your
something
audience
exclusive. Host something exclusive. Do something, whatever it is, an audio room, whatever type of content. Tell your fans or on whatever platform, hey, I'm doing this over here at Fanbase exclusively. If you want in on this content, come over here to Fanbase. And that's it. If they're your true fans, true followers, and they want to hear what you have to say or show, then they will download Fanbase and subscribe to you.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah. That's a great recommendation. And Kyle, I think I asked you last week on how to get my subscription going. I still haven't figured it out, bro. Listen, I thought I was somewhat tech savvy. I still haven't figured that part out. I did actually put in my information in terms of my the EIN and tax ID and all of that. So I'm in there now, but I have not figured out how to get the subscription going.
Okay, so how about we could try to tackle that tomorrow. Like if you send me a message, we will try to get that fixed for you tomorrow.
Yay! Okay. All right, I'm complete. Thank you so much. This has been excellent.
Right, no problem. High Hopes, you there? Okay. All right, so Noah.
Yep, I'm ready to hit the next point if you are.
Yeah, actually, Noah and Andy, I guess, you guys can talk about the amped ups that are this week, and because two of them.
Yeah. Well, before we can do that, Kyle, I wanted to speak a little bit about what we got going on after this room and heading into next week, what we'll be doing with a certain partnership that we can now talk about.
So talk about it, Noah.
Yeah. Go ahead, Noah.
I had to wait for Kyle to say, yeah, man. You know.
Yeah, no, go for it. Yeah. No, go for it. I was catching up on chat. My bad.
No, you good.
Yeah.
So we can officially talk about this, and I'm super excited to talk about this, and you'll hear more about this as it unfolds in the next month. Fanbase has officially partnered with the Propel Initiative to host 5 HBCU-based marketing students in the Fanbase office and digitally to lead their very own UGC user-generated content across the Fanbase platform. So that means that they will be in office for 2 days starting next week. They will be learning digital content and then going and implementing that in UGC challenges across the Fanbase app with support coming from Kyle, me, and other Fanbase staffers and employees. We are super excited to host them as they take part. And if you guys have any other suggestions of ways we can partner with different HBCUs, Skell, I know you volunteered some ideas in the past. We definitely want to hear about it. Let's see. Let me check the chat for questions.
See, I'm jealous, man. We started the room, and then like 5 minutes after we started the room, the update dropped. So now everybody's doing reactions, and we can't see it.
Do we have to update the app in order to get the emotes?
Yes. So look. Andy and Noah, you guys can leave the room real quick, download or update your apps, and then come back in and see, and then that way you guys can see it.
And then, actually, we'll do one better, Kyle. Once we've updated, make one of us master moderator, then you do it.
All right. Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, we'll be back.
So I honestly did not hear what I didn't hear what Noah was saying. Andy, what was he talking about? Starting to go on about? Oh yeah, that's right. They're downloading. That's right. They're going with the apps.
Let me see if this works. Oh shit! That's how I keep it 100. Can y'all see? If you didn't update the app, can you see it? Hello, Kyle?
Yo, yeah. No, I can't see it.
Okay, you gotta.
Yeah, I gotta update it. Yeah, to see it.
Yeah, no, that's why I was saying. That's why I was saying, like, I can't see it. But if you and Noah went to go update the app, then that way y'all could see it. But now, Andy, I'm making you the master mod, so that way I can update the app, and then I can see everything.
Okay. Yeah. Go. Update the app real quick.
Yeah. I'm gonna be right back.
Mm-hmm. I can do it. See? Yes, so everybody download. Go to the App Store, update your Fanbase app so you can experience this new feature with the emotes. It's pretty cool.
And now we're back.
What? Did you update the app? No.
Yeah, let me try it again.
Yeah, update it again.
He still
No,
can't do it.
No, I'm sorry. Noah was he was troubleshooting a little bit, but yes, everybody.
Yeah, see, there we go.
Let's update our apps and let's test out some of these emojis, y'all. Okay, so when we talking, if we say something funny or say something that you don't agree with, put the thumbs down. You know what I'm saying? If we say something that you agree with, put the thumbs up. Okay, hold on. We got a raised hand in here. Let me bring you up here. Okay, they left. All right.
You could select the option next to the emoji at the bottom, and you can change your profile picture from there. So now all you gotta do is just hold down on your profile picture in the room, and you can select an emoji, or you can change your picture directly from there. I like that. Smooth.
What's up, Spicy Tuna?
Yo, does this mean we can all change our PFP to Kyle in the middle of a room while he's talking? Just everyone becomes Kyle all of a sudden?
Yeah,
probably. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think we needed this update to do that.
Condos, those condos cost more than your condo. Wait, condos.
Click on the picture when, instead of the emoji, if you want to take a picture from your library, you can hit that library icon, and then it'll pull up your camera roll and pick a.
Yeah, that's kind of fun, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do that before, but now it's kind of like all in one place.
Yeah, that's dope. You can make like the whole room change their PFP for the same thing, and then like send them off in their own way once you get in the room. Be kind of fun. I'm seeing if we can vote. Like, I want to see if we can if voting can take place. I suspect we might be able to. I'm looking right now. Because if we could be how many emojis of the diamond emoji gets used in a single room, and we do team diamond emoji versus team what do we got on here? We got team. We have a peach. We have no eggplant. What is going on?
Okay, listen.
What's happening?
Okay, well, so look, Skel. You already know that Isaac was gonna make sure we had skin tones. And me and Isaac were talking about this weeks ago when this was still being revised and everything. I told him. He asked me. He's like, what do you think? What do you think? You think we do the eggplant peach? I was like, bro, yes, we do that because everybody will like that. And then he's like, nah. He's like, I don't know.
Get the peach.
so y'all gotta talk to Isaac about that one.
We can start a campaign. This could be the first This is the grassroots campaign.
Free the eggplant.
Free the eggplant. We have the peach. We can have team eggplant. It'll be real good.
It's a song, Come on, now.
I put the gif of Vince McMahon. That is how I'm feeling towards all of this conversation.
Bro, see, I'm already seeing a lot of people change their
I don't know. Is that a good thing to say, Noah?
In terms of, we do not condone.
That's not a good person to want to be like right now.
Oh, you know what? You're right.
So look, what I can say, in response to UJC Promotions, is that since it already has been announced by Rama and Isaac themselves in another audio room, eventually we're gonna have it to where you can add your own emojis or reactions. So right now this is the first run, right? So yes, everybody of course is gonna want more, right? But that's a good thing though, because that just means that it's cool and y'all like it already. So that we're gonna get on it. Noah, you left, and then you started talking about something, and then you left.
So the last thing I was asking you is, does anybody have any questions about what we were doing with the Propel program? I'm happy to answer. I also want to hear about some other ways that we can get involved with HBCUs. As you see, we're very invested my brother's siblings. I'm the only one who didn't get the memo as pertaining to go into an HBCU. But we're super passionate. So just in the comments, just let me know what other ways we can do this thing. Following back up on what Kyle originally said, we've been shooting some amped ups. We shot one yesterday with a new artist, Eddie Valero. Some of you guys might have heard of him. Great artist, great sound. He absolutely killed it. And tomorrow we have They Love Frio, an emerging artist that we brought to Amped Up. I think you guys are going to like him. He has a really esoteric sound about him. Shit. He's a cool personality. Andy, how would you best describe he's got a lot of Andre 3000 energy in terms of aesthetic, real eclectic and bright use of colors. I'm talking about Post. I'm talking about what is his new album, The New Blue Sun. I'm talking about that type of Andre 3000, not Outcast Andre 3000. So I think you guys will really like it. He'll be having his audio room tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So check back in here to your favorite fan base marketing team tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Andy, you want to say anything more to it?
Not really. I mean, we got that coming. We filmed TJ, big dancehall artist. If any of y'all know, song Drift was viral. So we had him in here.
Which Andy killed that interview. Andy went in and he sat down and he asked some questions, and Andy really got to the meat and bone of all things.
But yeah, we got a few amped ups coming soon, so stay tuned for that.
Yes, sir.
But let's go to these questions. Anybody had a question? Durand was in the audience for a while.
Yeah, I kept clicking on the hand raise thing, but he said it kept removing the hand from his picture in the audience, so I didn't know.
On stage from two different devices.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait a minute, Durand. Let me just say we have a very special guest in the audience today. Another member of the fan base team, Miss Valeria. Kyle, if you can add her to the panel. She has her hand waved. I think this is her first time ever joining us. She's usually in Thursday Tech Talk, I believe.
Yep. And we got Ron joining the room now. Yep.
Oh wait, who you went out on me. Who do we got?
We got Ron.
Ooh, wait, and we got the one and only, the best photographer. Oh wait, Andy's in here too. Sorry, let me re-say. One of the greatest photographers.
Okay, I'm a director. I'm not a photographer.
Oh, okay. One of the best photographers and directors. I'm only messing with you, Andy. In the city of Atlanta, Mr. Jay Wilson. Let me shout this good gentleman out who's out here on the audience right now. What's up, good sir? Okay, that's it. All right.
Yeah.
So all right, Kyle, on that question.
I
had a room this morning.
Yeah. Oh, it keeps... Your thing keeps muting.
Is that better?
Yeah,
yeah.
It's because I was in the room on my iPad. Because I updated on my iPad, then departed, then updated on my iPhone, then came back. A whole little so I can stay in the room thing. Okay, so I had to close out on the iPad so it wouldn't have conflict. So you spoke about the number. Now help me understand it, because I posted the link to the room earlier. We saw about 60 people come in there, but I posted it on my LinkedIn. I posted it on my Twitter. I don't know how many people actually listen from the web. I suppose I should have opened the web on my iPad. So you're saying now there's no way to see that number here.
Well, so the way that it works is that it acts as anonymous viewers. So if you open a room like right here, right, and let's just say you only have 10 people that you can see in the audience, but your room count is 20, right? That would mean that the extra people that you can't see, the extra numbers that you can't see, those are from web. And if you
so you do see the number here.
Yes, correct.
Got
you
it.
see
So
the number, but you can't see
see the total number of listeners. You cannot decipher who is from the web.
Who's from the web or who's I got that.
You know who the real people are by seeing who's actually in the room.
Yes, correct.
So what I will have to do now moving forward is actually, and this is assuming that it's not too many people to do this, but just count the amount of people in the room, because I was wondering that. I said, I'm going to share this on my LinkedIn, because a lot of people, they don't know about Fanbase, but they want to listen to my rooms. I'll do an audio room on LinkedIn. Then I post the LinkedIn link. I do know a few business people came in the room today because they told me on LinkedIn and in my comments on my post on LinkedIn, like, oh, that was a cool app. I didn't know about that app, and now I'm going to utilize that app. But I wasn't quite sure if I can see the cumulative number, but you guys answered that question, so that's good to know.
Yeah, and I tried to answer that in the chat. I didn't know if that was clear, but yeah, I'm glad we could answer that. Yeah. Now
you answered it clearly as to one side of my thinking, but you gave more clarity on you and Noah on the other side, as in the number is going to show regardless of what you can see visually inside of this interface, as far as the listening on the web, especially if you shared the link to a particular group of people. Okay, great. Secondly, and this is a real-time question, I think maybe I need to talk to Rama about it, but something has to transpire by which a person can have the same account in both devices, because there's a bit of a conflict there. And what I've seen happen on the app across the street, if I were to attempt to go inside of the room on my iPad, it would have a pop-up message. You're already inside of the room on one device. Would you like to switch to this device? And if I click yes, it's going to kick me out of the room on one device, in this case, this iPhone, and allow me access on the iPad, of which I'm attempting to transition over to. So maybe that's something you guys can swing towards, Rama, because that would be great. Because that was why we had the muting conflict, because it's attempting to determine which audio should I speak from, it being the software. So perhaps you guys can actually talk to Rama about that.
Okay. Yeah, I see. Okay. So you're saying basically, the other place only allows audio input from one device at a time, and will transition over. But you're saying that currently the way that you're doing it, it will allow audio from both?
Yeah, so if I can I can come in this room. The first thing I tested was I came back, I was already in the room, and I entered on the iPad. It repositioned me in the audience. So I was at the bottom of the audience on the iPad, and I was at the midpoint inside of on the iPhone. But then I came back in on the iPad after departing, and I was on the stage from the iPad. So I didn't accept the permission from the iPad. I accepted from the iPhone. I was on the stage, and then I was determining which emoji was going to have prominence. So I was able to, and I'll do this really quick so I can show you again. I was able to post an emoji from the iPhone, but it's not representative on the iPad visually. So what I did, some more nerd stuff, I tapped both of the emojis simultaneously to see how fast which one of the emojis would actually update. And and was really interesting. The emojis actually did it simultaneously, so that's really some good software. But the audio conflict is there. So I'm back in the room.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, I get you, Kyle.
I'm off mute on both of them now. I kind of know what's happening in the background, Kyle, because I'm a software engineer, but I just don't want to make it technical. But
that sounds crazy.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, so watch this.
Well, whatever device you just switched to is definitely not registering your voice as clear.
I was able to see. I closed out the iPad, so now I'm clear. I was able to see the emoji happen twice. I literally clicked the emoji on the iPad and clicked the emoji on the iPhone, and it simultaneously instituted the emoji. You wouldn't be able to see that because you can only see one version of my account. So yeah, the app across the street kind of separated it. And I suppose when we talked to the team over there, because it was costing them a lot because it was being considered two streams for those two separate devices. But at first they didn't have it that way, which is why and they even went further to say you can't have a room open and then open another room from your other device, because that's another thing people were doing over there to really trick and gamify the hallway. So how I'm in this room now, if I open another room on my iPad, that was once permitted over there, and they even removed that. So they removed simultaneously being able to come inside of a room on the device, as we just spoke about. They in addition to that, they removed being able to be in one room and open another room. So maybe that's something you guys can consider.
Okay, yeah, no, I'll bring that up for sure. Yeah.
All right, and Kyle, if you want to. I was going to say, if you translate it out, it's because of the token that gets created. So when you create a token, it's device-based. And so if we were to, like, and, you know, I think the right way for it and, like, cook it up is, like, enforce a single token choice. You can only pick one token to be live per account, basically. That would reduce all the issues. It would make it so you can switch over to another device. I swap between desktop and mobile, and if I have my laptop, I like to jump around other audio rooms. So I'm like switching devices to do whatever. So I jump around devices while on like a Twitter Spaces pretty much most of the time. If I'm going to talk on my mobile device, it just sounds better. But I'll talk on desktop sometimes too, since they support that. So like, it's almost needed because otherwise you're going to jump between devices. Your phone's dying, your laptop's dying, things like that. It's kind of nice. So
yeah, that's definitely necessary. It's just more so of. So it's less of being able to jump from device to device and more so of which permission is going to have prominence once you select that. So, yeah, it's definitely needed for me to be able to hop inside of my iPad now. If this phone is dying, then the question is, I get the pop-up message on the iPhone. It appears as if you're attempting to switch devices. Would you like to actually go in the room in this particular device? That message I just communicated is pretty long. They can shorten it down. The marketing, you guys, just the marketing room. The marketing team can work on the messaging. So when I click yes on my iPhone, it closes me out of this room and allows me access on the iPad. So that's what I'm referring to. The other thing is, Kyle, Noah, I don't see the ability for me to see my profile information by clicking on this particular emoji card. For example, I was attempting to move back to the audience when Spicy was speaking, but now I can't move back to the audience because the emojis are prominent. So I don't know if we're going to add another sheet on this card where one tab is emojis and the other tab is profile information, where I can swap between the tabs on this particular interface, this sheet that's populated. Because otherwise, you guys have to move me back to the audience because that function is not there for me anymore.
Yeah, no, that should have been there. I will talk with Isaac about that.
Once again, this is a feature that just came out literally 20 minutes ago. So, you know, there's some stuff that, you know, we may have to work on, some new additions. You know, this just came out, you know, not even an hour ago. So I'm sure it will, you know, improve.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely going to improve. But like I said, I need someone to move me back to the audience.
Oh, yeah, no, I got you. Okay. All right, yeah, no, I'm going to bring that up to Isaac, though. I appreciate that. I wouldn't have seen that.
Hi, okay. Valet. This is your first time in the room. Valet, what's up? Are you going to speak to us?
Hi, everyone. Yeah.
Hey, Valet.
Nice to be here with everyone.
Introduce yourself, Valet. Tell the people what you do.
So I'm the CRM specialist at Fanbase. So I'm basically, for the user, it's basically I'm the person that sends you the emails and the push notifications, the in-apps that you see. So yeah.
Great. We love your emails, Valet.
Thank you. No, it helps a lot as well.
So team, I wasn't saying tell Isaac about the feature. I was literally saying, can somebody move me down to the audience now? I can't do it. So one of the mods have to click on my profile and move me down. I attempted to post it in the chat, so I wouldn't have to interrupt Valley. Kyle, Noah, direct it.
Yeah, I clicked your name and I click move to audience. It doesn't want to move you to audience. I'm not
Interesting.
Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna leave the room and then come back. Sit that way.
I'm not sure if it's the two devices, maybe.
It's probably the two device thing.
Yeah.
I will just give a quick update about that, though. I did just talk to Isaac while I was on mute, and what I was saying earlier was, if you tapped, like the way that the feature was supposed to, was be like if you tap, that brings up the emojis and reactions. If you hold down, it brings up your profile info, so you can move yourself back to the audience, or just see your profile information. So that is already brought up immediately, and see, that's why we have rooms like this, man. We want the feedback. So, damn, there was one. What was that? Oh yeah, Noah left. Okay. There was one other thing though. I swear, before I was. Anyway, I'll probably think of it soon. I want to address something that Skel said a while ago in the chat, but activations with HBCUs for like spring break stuff or like homecomings, stuff like that, that would be dope. That would be dope for sure. Yeah. And then there was, to answer your question, Ron, is there a way in the future decipher between the room and count or the room count and the web count? In the future, that's the plan, right? So in the plan, or in the future, the plan is to have it to where it's a more robust analytic dashboard for creators, right? So that way you can see, like total stats, right? Potentially time listened, to your audio room total, right? So, if you have your audio room up for, 10 minutes, but you have 45 people in there and all 45 people listened for all 10 minutes, that would be 45 times 10. But you'd be able to see those numbers. So, yes, in the future, that is the plan to make it decipherable between the statistics. But as of right now, obviously, it is not there. Okay, so does anybody have any other questions? Anybody want to come up on stage?
That's great. We got a few
Ron,
minutes here.
That's it is. That's what we really, really want to do. Because our goal obviously is, to provide creators with the best tools possible, right? So one of the tools, is not just on the producing content side or hosting content side, but being able to see the insights from your content that you've posted, right? So you can bring those statistics from this app, to brand partnership deals or, something like that, right? To really show and bolster your influence that you have, right? For me, I'm really big on that, on like being able to show all that. I'm sure, Spicy Tuna could chime in on that as well. But that is something that I would like to see. But yes, future. So let me check the hand raise queue. See, we got someone. Let's bring them up. And then we'll be checking chat.
Thank y'all for joining the room this week, too. You know what I'm saying? We popping this week, 50 people in here. Thank y'all for joining the marketing team talk every week.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You need to hear about what's going on with the TikTok. You're out of the loop. Well, basically, they're trying to ban. The rumors were, that they were trying to ban TikTok. Noah has all that information.
I don't think it's a rumor anymore. I don't know, man. Congress passed a bill that would take TikTok and force it to sell or anything else, but I think the rumor mill's over. Yeah. It was a rumor last year. Rumor's dead. It's all news now.
I think it was heavier than a rumor last year. There was some real motion in DC to make that happen. But for those of you who are not fully caught up in the situation yet, so today a bill banning TikTok was passed by the House, which means it goes to the Senate now to get voted upon. And if it is voted, then it goes to the president. And then in which Joe Biden already says he would sign it, then we out. The TikTok bill will be passed, and TikTok will be no more in the United States. What does this mean? Well, hopefully more fan base users. But just so you guys know, the reason why TikTok is getting banned, or this legislation is here in the first place, is because they collect data on you. If you guys are on TikTok for a long period of time, and if you see something that's like an ad that's tailor-made for you, maybe you were speaking about or even seeing content that had bunch of sunglasses, right? And you see a sunglass commercial, right? That's them collecting data for you. They're seeing what content you stay on the longest, what type of content you like, what content you see, like to browse, type of users you like to go to, and they're selling that data to China, and that's a no-go in the United States. So I think one of a few things could happen. I think an American company can swoop in, or maybe a collection of companies can come in and purchase stakes in TikTok. Maybe it could completely divest from China and from BitDance. There's a few things that can happen there. But overall, if you ask me, as a journalist and a capitalist, I'm probably thinking that TikTok will probably divest, because that's money. It was announced today that TikTok has lost over $500 billion since all of this is happening. So that's a lot of money, and the ad revenue that TikTok gets in is just absolutely insane. Andrew, maybe
massively insane.
Yeah,
Andrew, maybe you can speak a little more to this.
Yeah, I love the TikTok stuff just because I like algorithms and I like how platforms kind of decide. It's evolved a ton in the past few years. Like, kind of started with, like, everyone remembers MySpace. Everyone had a MySpace page in middle school, in high school, in college. And everything you put in there was, like, it was your data. You chose what to say. You chose who to add into your top 10 friends. You chose who to add in. Whatever you wanted to do, what your background was. You were an HTML coder. Like, you were some kind of, like, sleeper cell agent spy who could code without even knowing how to code. Like, it was impressive. And, like, that was a very early kind of Web 1 kind of social graph in a way. And, like, as ads and as, you know, brand partnerships and revenue sources and ad-focused platforms kind of grew, they knew that people would kind of not give them accurate data. And so if people just didn't give accurate data, it's tough to actually market and sell products to people. And so they've migrated into something called a social graph. And a social graph is something that, if you remember LinkedIn and how LinkedIn functions, LinkedIn's one of the largest social graphs on Earth. I think someone's open mic. I think it's Noah. Noah's open mic over here.
Sorry, Mr. Hayes has hijacked my phone.
Oh, you're good, man. You're good. But yeah, they have a social graph, and that social graph is really how they decide data. In a platform like TikTok, what it does is, like Noah said, like, they listen and they not listen, but they see how long you stay in a video. They see how long you stay on certain topics, and they kind of build a social graph based on those interactions. And what that ends up doing is it's how it serves you up content. You want to maximize, you know, ad dispersal in that content. If you have more relevant content, you're okay with seeing ads. They have a ton of consumer psychologists, economists, and others that work there, and they're really tweaking that algorithm to make it so you keep scrolling in that feed. And you spend 2 hours, 3 hours in app. And what that means is every single hour you're in the app, it serves up ads. They get ads from their partners, so on and so forth. But in that interim process of doing that, they've generated a ton of data. And that includes filling in the gaps on a lot of, you know, what makes you a consumer and what makes you tick. There's some great articles out there about people, you know, coming and seeing that their feeds are kind of indicating, like, their product interest before they're even interested in something. And it kind of feels like it's predicting things, and it's like your phone's listening, but in reality it's because they're seeing what you're serving up for content. They're purposely serving you up content to do that, and in that data, they're kind of keeping that also, you know, brands and marketing services can actually take that data. And when they start selling it, that's a huge factor there too. It's no different than any other platform operates. The biggest thing is just kind of where that data lives. Like, there's always, like, the huge geopolitical issue of, like, all this data, all these U.S. citizens lives in, you know, a server that can then be used against, you know, Americans if they travel abroad, so on and so forth. And there's a lot of, like, fear factor involved too. But they're not much different than what Meta's doing. If you remember Cambridge Analytica, this is actually the same kind of case. It's very, very similar in how they harvested data across the board too. So it's huge on that side. We lost Noah, didn't we? My partner in crime on this one, but it's a good dialogue to have, and I think it affects a lot of people using it. I think there's a lot of fear in the market, in the sense of, like, the sector itself. I say market, but more sector for creators. I have a lot of big creator friends that are in, like, a panic, you know, posting on Twitter saying, you know, what am I going to do next? Like, where am I going to post across the board, everything else? I don't know, Kyle, what's your thoughts, buddy? What's your thoughts on this?
I mean, honestly, it is what it is. I think there's, just as many other apps or like web functions that do the exact same thing. So, especially stuff like that, right? All the other ones they just end up getting sued. And it's a wrap, right? Like that's it. And they're back to business. But I don't know. I guess I don't really have like a firm, stance on it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I mean the side of it. I know Duran had a good point of it. My bad. It's a interest graph kind of versus a network graph kind of thing or a social graph. It's more interest based, and that's kind of spot on for it. Serve the most interest. They do get social when it comes to followings and things like that, and they probably apply weighting to it. On my side, coming from the data end and dealing with algorithms and building out knowledge graphs and social graphs for Web3 platforms, it's really cool how this stuff works from like the data perspective. When it's used for good, there's always like the discussion of like data for good, and like someone can come in and take these insights and gain a lot of value from it and put that towards like a lot of different programs that can be used for actual benefits for people. A lot of statistics we get from things like the Census Bureau, which actually drives most of demographic data, and most marketing corporations use the Census Bureau as the largest data source for statistics on like where people live, where they've migrated to, their interests, their income, things like that, which is all powerful for marketers from that angle. And it's essentially good data in the sense that it doesn't have negative connotations with like telling people where they live now. It's a good stat to grab because you can start to incorporate social services and social welfare. In a past life, before working with Fanbase and a few other orgs, I came from the healthcare field and population health and geospatial analytics on that side. And a lot of it had to do with social welfare was huge. And like that's a good benefit of data. You could take the same TikTok data and, you could serve up content to certain creators to get them noticed more and let them grow and actually build a business off of that. And it's all in the platform's control to do that. They have incentives to do these things for some people, but for others, they don't have to. And it's like there's good data and there's bad data. It's just kind of what you do at the end of the day. And it's who's in control of it. Do you control your TikTok data? You can't even see how your algorithm's even serving up to yourself. You have no idea what they even store on you, what your interest is, what your category is. And that transparency is huge.
Yeah, and that's the weird thing, because you really just don't know.
Yeah, and that's
nobody
like
gets in trouble until it gets found out. You know what I mean? So it's
and for a good point on like how much data is produced, I think it's like the average American produces, I did the math a while back, it's like 4 or 5 gigabytes of data throughout the day. That's everything from if you're driving to work and you're trying to avoid traffic and you're using Google Maps, you stop to order coffee at Starbucks and you use your Starbucks app, and you use all these different apps to do things. They all generate data about you into a larger data system. These things don't talk to each other usually. TikTok has the advantage because they work with all these brands. They have all this data. Every brand and every company has access to it. They're all advertising on it. It's billions of dollars get spent, and so it has to be really relevant. But to your point, like it's scary in a way, but it's just more of like who's in control of it, and that's like the biggest driver here. If it was, let's say, the country of, the United States with all this data, would we consider the same exact concerns? And for years we haven't. There's lots of data mining that takes place across the U.S. It's like, is it bad just because of who owns the data and where the servers are? And it's kind of a philosophical question of like, what makes that data worse if it's placed over there? Or is it placed in the same hands of people that could do the same exact actions they could do in the U.S. and more direct to you? Things like that are like a bigger thing. So it opens up a bunch of like data philosophy and like more issues on, how much control do you have over your data to begin with? Do you know how much gets used, so on and so forth? And like that's a question people should ask when they use platforms. And it's definitely something that's fair.
That's 100% what it is. It's who owns it, like where, like you said, man. It is. That's the biggest thing, at least for the U.S. country. Is it from? Like apparently if it's in the U.S., it's all good, but anywhere else, it's like, whoa, it's a little scary,
Yeah, and it would be, like building an app like this, and as someone who lives in the data world of the Fanbase app and can see all the data and metrics. It's kind of one of those things where, as this kind of situation takes place and things unfold, it's like working with people who are creating on the app, using the app, and doing things with it, like getting their feedback to like, what do they want to see? Like, what do they want to provide for data to feel like they get a good app experience? Like, do they want us to serve up interest graphs and serve up nice data? We're not selling ads to them, so it works a little bit better. But do you want to see more creative content? Do you want to see more things that you're interested in, like music and art and like entertainment and politics and so on and so forth, and get those personalized recommendations? You don't have to scroll for, a million years to find something you like, and to serve up creators. And like, there's a good way to do that without pitching people to, to get sold ads or sold products. Like, that's a huge benefit, and get to see the stuff you actually want to see. And like, building that with a small community is nice because we can get feedback for it. That's something that I do on my side. So you're kind of talking to the person who would be building out these graphs, building out these types of interest kind of based recommendations for content, but with the purpose of actually serving up stuff you want to look at, not serving up ads and serving up ad platform, which I think is like a positive value prop. The exchange of you scrolling through, liking content, engaging with it, telling us what your interests are directly gives you better content, so you can scroll through and find cooler creators. And that's a good value prop to have. And like, as long as that status quo stays even like that, then it makes a good situation for like the actual like consumer of that, entertainment and content.
Yeah. Yeah. And I see, that's why I love how Noah pointed to you on being able to talk about it. 'Cause those were like actually in-depth and insightful points.
Yeah, and the big thing too is like a lot of places, and there's a lot of data policies like GDPR I deal with a ton when it comes to like cross-platform data. If you guys know what cookies are not something you eat, it's something that your website eats when you browse sites and you browse through any website in the world. It's creating a cookie, and what that cookie tells people, tells platforms, tells marketers, is it tells them a little bit of information about where you came from, what you're doing in the site, what pages you view, where you interact, and what you click on. And in the U.S., there's a lot of policies. GDPR is in the EU, but there's some California standards, and most people have adopted these rulings across platforms. And it means that these platforms can't share that data. I can't take user traffic coming into Fanbase and go over to Twitter and say, hey, do you guys want some data? It's against the law now, which is great. Overseas, those laws don't exist, and when you're using an interest graph and content graphs or everything across the board, you don't have to worry about that a ton, but most platforms should be transparent with that. I think it'd be nice for us, like while we're seeing TikTok get nailed for their kind of like mysterious data policies, how their algo works, everything else, letting people see what actually what we store on people. It's pretty transparent. You can see it from our data privacy listed in our app and everything else, which is really cool. That's helpful to know as someone who's making content. Like, do you own your content? Where does it go? What happens to it? So on and so forth.
Yeah. And I like, for any app, like the privacy policies, and stuff like that. But then, even in the app store, like if you're downloading an app or you already have an app or any app, if you scroll down on the app's page, then, you could see it. It has a whole section where, what data does this app like collect or store, or, like what data does it use, So, yeah. At least I guess that's the app store's attempt to have their part handled, but yeah.
Yeah, that's GDPR at play. That's EU standards for data. That's the actual like platforms themselves enforcing. They have that prompt when you install an app. You ask the app not to track. I don't think we even get that pop up for payments. We don't track you across apps anyway. There's like we may do that in some cases, but what that does usually is like shows like battery life and things like that, which is like they call it like life life support metrics for like a phone, and like that's helpful for people, but like. It's like kind of just it's a metric that your phone shares with like app providers. Like I get to see all that data. It's not very exciting for the most part. It's kind of just like across the board, but that's all when you look at what the app actually stores, it shows it there. TikTok stores a lot of stuff. it tracks you across the interwebs, every app you open across the board from that side, which is kind of crazy. There's like, if you're, creators and stuff, it's good to know like how people find your stuff, but there's a fascinating world of mobile data and just data aggregators that provide cool insights into things. I work with a couple of them just with, doing app analytics for other platforms. And you can, as an economist or as someone who's doing platform strategy, you can actually predict market movements based on what people do with their apps. How often someone opens up a Robinhood app, indicates market performance in a macroeconomic standard. When someone goes from their Shopify app for a specific web store and goes to another store, some of those apps do share that information with each other. They're allowed to do that based on the tracking. It's kind of crazy. And you actually can see how many people go from Sephora to to TikTok, and then they see a Sephora ad in TikTok and back over to the app. Like, you actually can track that journey with a lot of that data that's provided, which is very interesting for someone who likes to eat through data. So,
yeah. I wonder if anybody, for whatever reason, I cannot click on the chat, so I can't see anything in the chat.
What's in the chat?
But yeah,
we had Isaac in here. He was typing in the chat. I'm not sure.
Get some eyeballs.
yeah.
I'm not sure if he's still in here, but he probably heard Andrew, talking all that goodness. So
I love this stuff. I think it's fun. I think it's cool to build an app with creators at the forefront and people that are enjoying this content, because we can get feedback and we can ask what do people want to see from their side. We don't have to worry about advertisers. It's really about do you want to see more creators? And we can see that stuff in data, but a lot of times that firsthand kind of feedback from creators and from people that love content is goes way more, because it's that qualitative feedback that just supports what we're doing. So happy to grow that out. It'll be nice when we grow this out more. I think the TikTok stuff in my summary here, I think the TikTok stuff leaves a lot of volatility, but it leaves a huge fact to people that are creating and moving audiences that no one has any allegiance to any platform. And that's a huge thing to note. It's really, really important, is that if you're creating content on one place, you migrate content to their place, but fans of content don't have an allegiance. They move around. There's no, people use Twitter for years. I was a big Twitter user. I don't use Twitter as much anymore. It became kind of more distracting. Instagram I'm on a ton. I'll bounce over to TikTok. I use Fanbase more and more as I'm doing stuff, which is kind of fun to jump on audio. It's fun to talk in these rooms. But people don't have allegiance in one place. You'll see TikTok news and there'll be a ton of volatility. And there's a lot of growth potential for people to come over here and actually preserve their content and be able to save it, not to worry about it being deleted, which is great.
Yeah. Well, does anybody have any question? Want to come up on stage? Anything in chat? What's up with this traffic, man?
Someone say Kevin O'Leary offers to buy TikTok. Oh my god.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
I'm on the boat and on the fence of just because it's in America doesn't make it inherently good or better. It doesn't make it a safer platform for users or less addictive or anything else. I know it's like my generation, I guess I'm a millennial in that regard, but younger kids, very impressionable. I was making the joke earlier about the Kia Boys. Everyone here has a Kia Boys or a group in their city who learned how to hotwire cars from TikTok. And it's the most ridiculous phenomenon, or Tide Pod challenges, everything else too. But that kind of stuff, would that go away if it comes over to the U.S.? Would there be a safer platform, or would it be a huge monetary incentive to whoever gets that deal to basically just keep doing the same thing but stick an American flag on it? And does that make it better?
That's all it is. Yeah, that's all it is.
And that doesn't feel like a big change for things, or does it help creators? And I just from someone who I've worked with brands to build out their TikTok presence and their strategy there, there's it's really crazy because you can see it as you build a new page, and everyone here who has a TikTok channel has posted their first TikTok and their video and got that quick dopamine hit of 500 views or 800 views immediately in your first 2 pieces of content, and then you just chase it every single time, and you're getting 100 or 50 or 20, and that's a huge factor as to why it becomes addicting to a lot of people, which makes sense. But that's not going to change. I mean, oh my God, I'm sure Microsoft or Google or Oracle or any other service provider would love to have their hands on that type of algorithm and that type of data to work with.
Now, Bam, what's up, Bam? I just brought you up. I saw you had your hand raised in the audience. What's up, my brother?
Yeah, I popped it in the chat also. Are emojis live for Android devices?
They should be. I know the app store for iOS, I know that release just went live maybe an hour or so ago. I'm not sure if the Android release went out simultaneously. It should have, though.
Okay, yeah, I re-downloaded the app and it's not working, so maybe it's not live for Android yet.
Yeah, they both got approved. It's just, I guess, a matter of
someone
when.
in the audience said that she's on an Android and her emojis work. So.
Can you see my emoji though? If I press the little diamond, can you see a diamond?
Yes. You're on an Android as well?
No, I'm on an iPhone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can't see anything from an emoji perspective.
Oh,
nope.
Yeah, if you can't see it, then it's not updated. Yeah, that's interesting.
It might be regional or something because I re-downloaded the app. It wasn't an update option. It was I just removed and updated.
Well, okay. Well, go to the App Store with Fanbase still installed and on your phone, and go to the App Store and see if the App Store gives you the option to update.
Yeah, prior to removing it, there wasn't an update option. So maybe they're releasing it regionally. I'm on the West Coast, so I'll try it again later or tomorrow. Thank you.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay.
No problem. But I mean, yeah, we do have a couple Android users in here that have been using it. No issues. So double check your apps and update.
Need a little Android or iOS icon now. We're gonna have cell phone wars in here. I'm gonna declare the blue dot iOS, Team iPhone, and the green check mark, or I guess we could use the throw up emoji, is Android.
Why?
Green check mark is. This is the classic, the war of the cell phone. I used to have an Android for years, so it's fine. This is my first iPhone in years, but I'm on Team Blue Dot. That's Team iOS. That's how we decided. Until we get an Apple logo or more fruits and vegetables in here.
This is the emoji thing is, kind of what they were doing in the dressing room, changing their profile pics to hot or not. So I think it's dope.
Yeah, it'll be nice. It'll be nice when more comes out.
Have we teased the more part yet? Have we done anything about that? I've seen some more stuff, which is cool. I know kind of what would be super dope with this thing. I think the voting and polls live would be so cool. Just to poll responses, it could help people do the conversation changes. Hey, if you want to talk more about for a room, it could be more about music or more about certain topics. Let people vote with the emojis. Actually see the counts and tallies as the room goes on. I'm gonna write that down because that'd be kind of fun. Or some premium paid emojis that are exclusive to certain creators that they have just for their rooms.
Whoa! Talking a lot over here. Talking a lot over here.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
Don't give everything away yet, Andrew.
Oh my God.
Yeah, calm down over here.
Yeah, we're gonna give Kyle his own personalized emoji that only Kyle gets in his room. Whew.
Oh, dude, I already have those on. I upload those for For Slack and stuff.
For Slack?
Oh, for Slack? Yeah.
Oh no, that's my first freaking week of working. Like, Kyle has his own emoji response in Slack. I was like, oh my gosh.
Kyle's a brand.
Yeah.
Well, Kyle's got good branding. He comes with his own personalized emoji stack for Slack. It's like a brand package. It's not a bad gig.
And then people try to upload their own custom ones. So I was like, all right, go ahead, ride the wave. Mine are animated though, so what's up? We're putting the throw up, yeah.
Big shouts out to the marketing room every Wednesday, 5 o'clock. We've been, ever since we started, I don't know how many weeks is this in a row, but we've been consistent, but the numbers have just been going up.
Since we've done the consistency since the first week of the year. I think our first one was like 1-4 or something, or
dope.
Something like that. Yeah, I think
So we're going on 3 months. We haven't been consistent for a year like the dressing room, but we'll get there.
Well, consistent. They missed last week.
Oh yeah. Well, they needed a break. Everybody gets an off day.
No, I'm just messing. I'm playing.
But our numbers, we started this with like 10 people in here. 3, it used to just be me, you, and Noah in here. You know what I'm saying? Now we at like 50 people.
Are we competing with the Tech Talk? It might be like a little bit like a Tech Talk marketing scene.
Ramiro's he's out of there. Like, I don't know if they're competing with that. Like, Ramiro just starts his room and people just join automatically. He's getting loves in his room. Like, he's out of there already.
He's got the Riz, that's why. We can get there, don't worry. We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get
there. We're getting there. 100%, we're getting there.
Celebrity appearances. We need emoji wars. We're gonna compete with Ramiro, and we're gonna have once we take the crown, and it might be a Burger King crown. Just might pick one of those up. Like once we have the crown, we don't need crown emojis either. Hold up, I got a lot of tickets to write today.
Lots of shakes. Lots of shakes.
Oh my God, where's the crowns? Where's the tiaras? Where's the eggplant still missing? But that's fine. Oh my God.
They're gonna message you back like, guys, this shit just dropped, guys. Give us a second.
Vicky's just gonna like completely step away. She's gonna be like, all right,
All I'm saying is you lead a horse to water and that horse is gonna want to drink, so over here we need more emojis. We could do fan voted ones. I think it'd be kind of fun to do that too. Just do like a little fun little activation around like which emoji we should bring in next. Whew.
Well, Kyle, anything else you want to say? Do we want to close it now? We had a lot of good info from Andrew, a lot of data talk, analytics from Andrew. So we're on we're over 20 minutes, but that's fine. Everybody has stayed in here, which means, they're digesting all of the information. But yeah, is there anything else you want to throw in there, Kyle?
No, that was we covered everything I had on the agenda, and then we were able to talk about the TikTok stuff. So especially with having Andrew in here, of course, it's gonna make everything better.
I'm just here for the drama. That's all. I like a bit of chaos in the middle of things. How am I going to talk to brands when we're doing our TikTok pushes? I put my notes in the chat here about if you guys follow a lot of politics and all that stuff. Like the Biden Cares campaign has done a lot of work getting TikTok stood up. They even made an announcement video with a little dance, and then Joey B's about to kick that to the curb, and their whole marketing team is probably in shambles at this point. So I'm not even joking. Like it's just drama across the board. It's going to be an election cycle for whoever you vote for, I don't really care, but it's going to be entertaining. You know, we got TikTok on the line, the chopping block. We got dance routines going away. High schools across America. Oh my God.
That like these would be on, you know, like these things would be on the ballots, you know, like.
I just want to buy a house, man. I just want to buy a house.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't want my groceries to be more expensive. We can keep the TikTok dances if it keeps the high schools and the Gen Zers happy and not protesting in the streets. We'll have the first TikTok protest that's both simultaneously filmed on TikTok and danced to on TikTok. Like it's gonna be.
Man! Everything has to have its own dance. Yeah, for sure.
We're gonna have a wild time. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. 2024 is going to be a little interesting year, huh? Well, yeah, I mean, unless anybody else has anything else to say, Andy, I'm good.
All right, so thank you everybody for joining Marketing Team Talk. Join us next week, Wednesday, 5 p.m., and every Wednesday, 5 p.m., to get a chance to talk with the actual marketing team at Fanbase. Once again, thank you, everybody, and have a good day.
Yeah, everybody have a great day.
You're all.